Roman Reigns has up. Ever since SummerSlam last year, Roman has taken the term part-time a little too literal, and he spent the majority of 2023 on vacation. Well, now on the very first episode of SmackDown in 2024, Roman has pissed off everyone to the point where now he has to face Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles in a fatal four-way match for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. But that's not the only big thing that happened on this show. Like the size of Karrion Kross's new faction, and we got the long-awaited main roster debut of Tyler Bate. But before we get back to Roman, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and comment down below your thoughts on this episode of Friday Night SmackDown. So the main event was a triple threat match between Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles, and the winner of this match would go on to face Roman at the Rumble. But before we could find out a winner, as each men were laying in the ring exhausted and defenseless, Roman and the Bloodline came in to ruin the main event, and they attacked everyone. Now I think this was Roman's way of getting back at Nick Aldis for making this match in the first place, since it's very well known that these two men have butted heads every single time that they've interacted, and both men are trying to show the other who really runs SmackDown. And it was very obvious, since every time Roman took a break from beating up somebody, he would talk crap to Nick Aldis. But Aldis, being the badass general manager that he is, did not get phased one bit. In fact, when Roman and the Bloodline were done beating up everyone, he simply walked up to Paul Heyman and told him to break the news to Roman that at the Rumble he would be facing every single one of those men in the ring in a fatal four-way match. Now my theory about Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns having some secret beef could very much be the case, or this could all really just be about The Rock and him calling out Roman earlier this week on Monday Night Raw, since the first thing that happened on this episode of SmackDown was Roman being interviewed about The Rock calling him out. And maybe Roman interfered in this main event just to assert his dominance and show that he really runs this show, and The Rock can't do anything about it. But let's move on to the rest of the show. So to kick off the new year on SmackDown, the show opened up with the finals of the United States tournament, which was between Kevin Owens and Santos Escobar, with Logan Paul on commentary. And this match was so good, both men just giving it their all. And even though before the bell rang, the LWO ambushed Angel and Humberto, removing them from Santos's corner, making this match a genuine one-on-one. But even with no help, Santos held his own up until the very end when KO won the match and became Logan's opponent for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. Now after that match, we had Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits come out to cut a promo about how 2023 wasn't really their year, but 2024 is going to be different, and they lay out all their goals, with Bobby declaring his entry into the Royal Rumble and the Street Profits calling out the Judgment Day for their tag team titles. And once they were done, they got interrupted by Karrion Kross and Scarlett and the return of the Authors of Pain, and they wipe out Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, which is a great way to have the return, showcase their strength, and also solidify themselves as a new faction with a revamped brunette Scarlett, who looked like $1,000,000 by the way. But next up we had a championship match where Iyo was defending her title against Mia Yim, and this match started off a bit rocky, but once they both found their footing, it was spectacular, with Mia hitting Iyo with a Styles Clash from the second rope and Iyo hitting a German suplex on the apron of the ring. But in the end, Iyo retained her title in a glorious fashion, and backstage as Damage Control was celebrating, Bianca interrupted to congratulate Iyo and to let her know that she's declaring herself into the Royal Rumble, and when she wins it, she's gonna get back what Iyo stole from her. Next up we had some tag team action with Pretty Deadly versus Butch and a surprise tag team partner, and I already kind of ruined the surprise earlier, but Butch's tag team partner was Tyler Bate, and they had an amazing match. And as I'm watching it, I was getting more and more confused as to why Butch was in the Brawling Brutes to begin with, because I've seen more tag team chemistry with Butch and Tyler Bate than I ever saw with Butch and Ridge Holland. But I'm glad that we're probably gonna get more of this in the future now that Tyler Bate is officially a member of the SmackDown roster. Now right before the main event, we had a small little segment with Nick Aldis and Ashante the Adonis, and Ashante pretty much cuts a promo to Aldis saying that he wants an opportunity and he wants to show off his skills, to which Aldis agrees, and he says that he may have an opportunity for him in the future. Now I only got a couple things to say about the actual main event, the triple threat match, since I already talked about most of the stuff earlier in this video. But besides how great this match was, Randy Orton has only been back for a couple of months, and he has already hit two of his best RKOs of his entire career. The one he hit on JD McDonough in the War Games match, and the one he hit on AJ Styles in this match when he caught him in the middle of doing a phenomenal forearm. But overall, this entire episode was so much fun, with some great wrestling and great segments, and Roman Reigns looking like the beast that he is, furthering storylines with The Rock and Roman, and we got two confirmed matches for the Royal Rumble with Logan Paul versus KO and the Fatal 4-Way match for Roman's title. So with that being said,